Hello, I'm Lara Kulchersan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. Israel's attack on Hamas negotiators in Doha on Tuesday has thrown the fragile Gaza ceasefire talks into jeopardy. Qatar has called the strikes cowardly, saying it constitutes a blatant violation of international laws and norms. It's warned that it has a right to respond. Even Tel Aviv's closest ally, US President Donald Trump, says he's not thrilled about the attack.
This was a decision made by Prime Minister Netanyahu. It was not a decision made by me. Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals.
Strong words, since it puts the US in a tough position. Israel is its closest ally, yet Qatar has been heavily involved in mediating a ceasefire to end the brutal war on Gaza. Qatar is also a significant security partner and home to the largest US military base in the Middle East. Online, the discussion is about whether Israel can be controlled and why it's still allowed to break international laws.
A country that can bomb that many others without any repercussions is a threat to everyone. To everyone. Kuwait is an ally to many countries, including the US, but Israel knows that it can bomb them, bomb its capital city without any repercussions because they have impunity.
Under the UN Charter, states are generally barred from using force on another state's territory without consent, as it should be. There are two exceptions. The first is Article 51, that's self-defense, and the second is a UN Security Council mandate. So that would be authorizing the use of force for international peace and security. So without Qatar's consent, Israel must frame this as self-defense against an imminent threat or, more contentiously, in response to an armed attack. But even if Israel justified this, they must still comply with jus in bello, which means the law of armed conflict, meaning that the strike must be legitimate, proportionate, and protect civilians.
A key US ally that hosts the biggest US military base in the entire Middle East, and yet this doesn't protect it. Israel will still do whatever it pleases there. And we will continue to let it. But this is fundamentally ridiculous. Qatar has built up a reputation as being a country that mediates negotiations between warring factions. And maybe they even knew what Israel was going to do. But ultimately, this is just insane that Israel is still considered this normal, moral Western ally that continually bombs countries over and over again, allegedly targeting Hamas's leadership.
The strike has sparked questions on social media on how Qatar's allies will react and whether other nations are safe from Israel's might.
This is a major escalation because Qatar is not Iran. Qatar is a top US ally in the region. And now the Saudis are getting involved in this whole thing. Quote, the Saudi crown prince confirms that the kingdom is putting all its capabilities to support the brothers in Qatar and any measures it takes to protect its security. Any measures.
There will be no peace. The international rules-based order, this is like the final nail in the coffin, and now the preeminent law of the land is might makes right, and now the entire world is incredibly less safe. Soon, everything Israel and the United States empire doesn't like, Venezuelan speedboats, illegal immigrants in the United States, everything will be Hamas.
And Israel's attacks are not limited to governments. It's alleged that Tel Aviv targeted a humanitarian mission aimed at bringing much-needed food and medicines to Gaza. The Global Summit flotilla say one of its boats was hit by a drone at a Tunisian port on Wednesday. That's the second attack in just 24 hours. The first strike damaged a ship carrying the flotilla's steering committee. The second targeted a vessel named Alma. Fortunately, no one was hurt in either incident. Tunisia denies the first attack happened at all and has not commented on the second. The flotilla is an international aid mission to deliver supplies to Gaza. It consists of 50 boats backed by groups from 44 countries, including Greta Thunberg and Irish actor Liam Cunningham. Earlier this year, 2 other flotilla ships were illegally seized by Israel in international waters before they could deliver aid.
My boat, the Alma, with humanitarian aid heading to Gaza, was attacked by a drone. What we know is it was a quadcopter drone. It had 4 propellers and it released some sort of flamethrower or Molotov cocktail. The device that it released actually fell on board. This is it right here. This is the exact same type of thing that happened about the family. We have no idea who owns these drones. The team is still looking through the footage to see what's available. These drones are controlled within short range. I wouldn't be surprised if they're somewhere on shore over here. This is definitely some sort of psyop meant to scare everybody, but we're not going to let that stop us. There are people in Gaza that are starving right now, and our entire mission is to give humanitarian aid to a starving population, and that's somehow controversial.
Meanwhile, more than 1,000 actors and directors have pledged not to work with Israeli film groups complicit in war crimes. Film Workers for Palestine published a statement saying that film workers worldwide are responding to Palestinian colleagues who asked the film industry to help stop Israel's actions in Gaza.
Yorgos Lanthimos, Olivia Colman, Ayo Edebiri, Josh O'Connor are among 1,200 industry people, actors, directors, writers, producers who just signed a pledge not to work with the Israeli Film Festival institutions that are complicit in war crimes. Here are a couple more names who did sign, a lot of A-listers over here, writers, directors, producers again, and this way you know whose movies to support in theaters. The statement was released today by the Film Workers for Palestine organization. It is a pledge to stop complicity in whitewashing or justifying genocide and apartheid and or partnering with the government committing them. It's a small step, but I hope it's a loud step. I'm very proud of all these filmmakers that I love, and I'm so happy that I can support people who believe in human rights.
People online are buzzing about whether Google's new AI mode will officially take over as a default search tool on its homepage, replacing the classic list of links we've all known for decades. Search experts say it's only a matter of time. And now, one of Google's own product leaders is hinting that change could come sooner than expected. When a user on X suggested AI mode should become the default search experience, Google's lead product manager for AI Studio, Logan Kilpatrick, replied with one word: soon. AI mode launched this summer, blending Google's search tools with a chatbot interface to deliver real-time AI-generated answers, not just links. It's part of Google's push into AI alongside its Gemini system and the AI overviews already showing up at the top of many search results.
A whole new way to search, and it's on this brand new button right here in the Google app or in browser. This is AI mode, a special search mode that lets you ask more complex questions. Just type, talk, upload an image, or even share a camera. And you can find it on desktop using this brand new AI mode tab. AI mode is built to be conversational, so you can ask anything you want, including follow-up questions.
But if AI mode truly replaces the traditional search, the impact could be seismic for the web economy. Many publishers rely on search traffic, and they're already seeing sharp declines. A Pew Research study conducted this spring, based on 900 US users, found that as Google leans on AI answers, it often leaves people with no reason to click through. The New York Times, among others, has reported steep traffic losses. The Columbia Journalism Review is calling it a traffic apocalypse, while the Wall Street Journal says it's AI Armageddon. And The Economist bluntly declared AI is killing the web. Now, media houses need to get ahead of what's being called Google Zero and consider how to compete against a bot.
Google Zero is this concept of the day that referral traffic from Google ends. So if a lot of news outlets have built their business models around acquiring audiences from Google, Google Zero requires that they have to think about like, well, how are we getting journalism to people if we can't get it to them through Google? AI has started to take over the open web, and Matthew Prince, who's the CEO of Cloudflare, recently released some statistics about the changing composition of audiences over the open web. 10 years ago, Google crawled 2 pages for every visitor it sent to a publisher. 6 months ago, that ratio was 6-to-1. Now it's an 18-to-1 ratio of bots to humans. For OpenAI, now the bot to human visit ratio is 1,500-to-1. And for Anthropic, it's 60,000 bot visits to 1 human visit. One of the bizarre dynamics that's now happening is that it's no longer humans that news outlets are producing journalism for. Your most dedicated reader on the internet is a machine. And I do think that is a fundamental change in the nature of the economic plumbing of just being online.
A major copyright battle is brewing in Hollywood. Warner Bros. Discovery has filed a lawsuit against AI image generator Midjourney, accusing it of stealing intellectual property. Warner is demanding $150,000 in damages, profit sharing, and an end to the use of its creative assets. The company says Midjourney used characters like Superman, Batman, Bugs Bunny, Scooby-Doo, and Wonder Woman to train its AI model, allowing subscribers to generate any scene imaginable with them. According to the complaint filed in a Los Angeles federal court, the AI image generator even removed safeguards that once blocked this kind of use and then promoted it as an upgrade. Disney and Universal launched similar lawsuits back in June. Midjourney, which launched in 2022, reportedly made $300 million last year and now has 21 million users.
Warner Brothers is saying, you're using our films to train your AI model, that's theft. And they're not wrong, but they're also Warner Brothers. The same Warner Brothers that just axed multiple finished films for tax write-offs, the same Warner Brothers that has been laying off creative staff while simultaneously pumping out AI adverts. So don't get it twisted. They're not protecting artists, they're just protecting licensing revenue. Meanwhile, the AI companies like Midjourney and Co. have admitted that if they couldn't train their models on copyrighted art, books and movies, they literally wouldn't survive. That is their entire business model. These companies have to steal in order to stay alive. And let's not forget, Google's doing it too. They're scraping their own YouTube videos to train Gemini. They're testing automatic AI upscaling of other people's shorts. TikTok's doing the same, and Meta is doing so much worse. There are no heroes in this story. Everyone here is a tech bro or a media executive just trying to monetize the creative work of other people. And if anyone thinks that this lawsuit is going to kill AI, they are extremely naive. Midjourney is just one of thousands of image models. Some of the best ones are open source, running on home servers with no guardrails and no limits. Shut down Midjourney and 10 others are just going to pop up.
It's a case of Zuckerberg suing Zuckerberg, and it's not what you think. And it has everything to do with an initial. A bankruptcy lawyer from Indianapolis has filed a lawsuit against Meta for repeatedly accusing him of impersonating the platform's 41-year-old creator. Mark S. Zuckerberg claims Facebook shut down his business and private accounts 9 times in the last 8 years.
This is one of the funniest lawsuits of all time. An attorney named Mark Zuckerberg is suing Mark Zuckerberg because his Facebook account keeps getting deleted. Facebook keeps assuming that Mark Zuckerberg is impersonating Mark Zuckerberg because his name is Mark Zuckerberg, when in reality he's just Mark Zuckerberg. He's not impersonating Mark Zuckerberg. Unfortunately for Mark Zuckerberg is an attorney, so he's in the perfect position to take legal action regarding this situation.
So you've never been at Facebook? I'm like, oh my God. I'm Mark Steven and he's Mark Elliott. I've got better things to do than to sue Facebook. And they have more money and more lawyers and more resources than I do. I'd rather not pick a fight with them, but I don't know how else to make them stop. The last time they did it, it was over 6 months before I got my account turned back on. So I don't know how else to get their attention.
He said that he has been practicing law for 38 years, since Mark E. Zuckerberg was a toddler. So now Mark S. Zuckerberg is suing Meta for $11,000 for advertisement that he claimed was improperly taken down. Mark S. Zuckerberg says it's like buying a billboard on the side of the highway, paying people for the billboard, and then they come and they put a giant blanket over it, and you don't get the benefit of what you paid for.
Meta has apologized for the confusion and says it's reinstated the lawyer's account while working to stop the same thing from happening again in the future. But the case still stands as Zuckerberg accuses Meta of negligence and breach of contract. He is seeking reimbursement for lost funds, attorney fees, and the maintenance of his accounts. Anonymous street artist Banksy has unveiled a striking new mural on London's High Court. It appeared just days after nearly 900 people were detained at a protest in London, opposing the government's ban on Palestine action. The artwork quickly drew crowds before police covered it up. Back in July, Britain designated Palestine Action a terrorist organization after its members stormed a Royal Air Force base and threw red paint in military aircraft engines. Supporting or joining the group now carries criminal penalties. But rights organizations say the ban is an attack on free expression, warning it criminalizes pro-Palestinian activism and threatens the right to peaceful protest. And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.